Today, when God closes a door, the Sims open a hairy window. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint.
Hey, so you're missing...
I know, and when I find the Fey folk who stole it, I will apologize for disturbing their mushroom circle and ask for my beard back.
And your hair?
It looked better on them.
If you're like me, you've got a tattoo of Taz the Tasmanian Devil from Tasmania somewhere on your body that's no longer visible to the public now that the hair has grown back nice and thick. I get it, though. Repping someone that powerful on your body is a strong statement, and it can be hard to walk amongst mortals, knowing that only you are protected by the power of Taz in a Superman costume, because who else would have the sheer balls to tattoo that much raw animal fury onto the skin they were born with? The developers at MultiVersus have also realized that Taz is just too strong for regular humans to comprehend, and in the latest patch, Taz's air-ground side special, his iconic tornado, has been sufficiently nerfed to give newer players a chance against the whirling wonder. When asked for comment, an unnamed spokesman replied, Also in the patch notes, favorite iconic Warner Brothers character, a longtime mainstay of the Looney Tunes, Velma, was deemed too thick. And though the devs reduced her in-game weight from 70 to 63, our scientists have confirmed that it will not be enough to curb the internet's horny. And speaking of hair and horny...
Thank you, Brendan, for that excellent segue. Ahead of the forthcoming Sims 4 High School Years expansion, EA has released a big free patch for the base game that makes a lot of changes, especially if your Sim likes hair or sex, or doesn't like sex. In an update to body hair, Sims can now have body hair, which was technically possible before, but now it's possible without being a lycanthrope. Werewolf or not, the update also adds more robust sexual orientation options, including attraction that is romantic but not sexual, and vice versa, or both or neither. And that may or may not dovetail into the new system of wants and fears that replaces the existing whims mechanic with things your Sims will try to achieve or overcome, respectively. And your new, hairy, aromantic Sim can pursue their dreams from the comfort of a new home, featuring, are you ready for this? Curved walls! I have not independently confirmed this, but I feel like the greater Sims community is most excited for curved walls. Oh, and thanks to the bug fixes in this update, Sims will now reliably feed their toddlers. Happy gaming!
Summer's too hot. Gas prices are too high. Stores can't keep anything in stock because the supply chain is screwed. And who should we blame? Oil companies, that's who! We need to get our shit together and run these greedy assholes out of business. In a video game, that is! Rockstar is releasing new content for Grand Theft Auto Online called The Criminal Enterprises, with new content and new missions centered around avaricious oil companies that move into San Andreas. Energy companies are corrupt, and therefore it is morally acceptable to ruin their business by stealing from them. In the game! I'm talking about the game again, okay? This definitely doesn't apply to real life, okay? The energy industry wouldn't do anything like spend millions of dollars to undermine democracy, infiltrate the media, and smash efforts to accelerate a transition towards clean energy, would they? Would they?
Buckle up, everybody. It's time to go to church. If we can find the way in. You've probably heard about this because it's the sort of fun, mysterious, ultimately irrelevant gaming story that we need these days as we wade through the sea of NFTs this and crunch culture that. So it's unsurprising that someone seems to have found a secret church in Nier Automata and nobody else can replicate it, has taken pockets of the internet by storm. Reddit user SadFutago posted a video in the Nier subreddit of them traveling through a door, down a ladder, and into a church that nobody else who'd played the game had ever seen before, in the 5 years since its release. In fact, nobody else could even find the prompt to open the door. It just doesn't seem to exist for anyone other than SadFutago. Even attempting to match SadFutago's conditions, which are apparently a 1.0 French-Canadian purchased copy of the game on PS4, nobody else has replicated this journey. So obviously, this is an elaborate prank with a modded version of the game, right? Right? Well, players aren't so sure because modders are also baffled. There are plenty of mods for this game. A lot of them we can't show you, but they mostly involve texture updates or character model swaps. Something like adding new geometry, interfacing it with the existing game, triggering a cutscene? According to the people who mod Nier, this is beyond what is possible for the people who mod Nier. But what else could it be? Some kind of viral marketing for the upcoming Nintendo Switch port? Someone asked producer Yoko Taro on Twitter, presumably in a bout of inebriated optimism, to which Yoko Taro replied, "Do you want to know my insight? In that case, you find answer at my Twitter profile." And of course, his Twitter profile reads, "I can't answer about any products, please ask publisher." Which is, of course, what he would say if this whole thing was real or not, because Yoko Taro is an oddball like that. Whatever the truth, Nier's mystery church has captured the minds of many, with memes already coming fast and heavy. So, is this legit? Probably not, but maybe. Is this an elaborate ARG promoting the Nier Switch port? Probably not, but maybe. Is this the best gaming news of the summer by sheer virtue of it being weird and fun? Yes.
At this point, I'll take anything weird and fun over real and abysmal.
What about real and abyssal?
Like, demons? Is that an option?
Probably.
Coming up, John Cena is the latest addition to Fortnite, and while hustle, loyalty, and respect seem like good values to support for Fortnite's young audience, it's pretty game-breaking to introduce a character that's always invisible.
Man, this church. There's the conspiracy theory. So like, sad futago means sad twins, and the scene references these twins that are in the game, and it's like they're. Someone was like, oh, they forgot to change accounts and they logged back into their alt, and they, it's like, it's probably not legit at this point, but why and who and what's the point? And what my favorite thing was someone recognized the geometry of the church as being from Bayonetta, which Platinum Games also makes, but that wasn't like a smoking gun, because it's not the only Bayonetta geometry they reused in Nier, so I
mean, I guess it's one of those things that if you were like, I need to make an elaborate hoax independently, what can I do? Oh wait, some stuff has been reused from Bayonetta, I'll just reuse this church. Also, when you try to break things down to be like, why use a church? There must be meaning in that. It's like, or maybe there isn't. I've seen reports where it's like, hey, did you know that some of the stuff that's in this thing that we're seeing, which I can't call a mod because we don't know. It's like some of the stuff's from Nier Replicant. But it's like, sure, sometimes a company makes a thing for a game that they end up not using, or that they've used in other places, or that kind of stuff happens, right? And it's like, so you don't really know why anything is being used there or why it isn't, and we don't really know why any of this stuff is happening, but it's such a wonderful fountain of new fun content.
It's just fun to see everyone just being like, what's going on here? Like,
what could it mean? And
there's brand new fan art. There's like people who haven't been involved in the Nier. I was just browsing the subreddit. I've never been there before. I haven't actually beaten the game. Of the many times you're supposed to beat the game, there's people who have not posted there for years, being like, this inspired me to make new fan art, and it's like to be like reaching up at this blank wall, like trying to open this wall, right? Like this has been a real like massive influx of inspiration for the community. So it's like.
And if this
is marketing, that's genius.
But also at the same time, it just by virtue of it existing, it already is doing its job. Because people who are like speculating is like, well, is it marketing for the new Nintendo Switch port? And it's like, you just thought that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that that's what it's for or for any reason like that, but the fact that you thought that means that you want this thing to relate to something that you've been thinking about already. So it worked.
I couldn't like smoothly get it into the story, but I appreciated that Yoko Taro tweeted that. It was like, if you want to find out my insight, look at my Twitter profile. And the Twitter profile is like, I'm not going to answer. You need to talk to my publisher, which is what his Twitter profile always says. And then the next day he was like, wow, I've gained 1,000 followers. That's cool. I don't tweet in English very often because I am foolish. And also, I like beer and sausage.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's like, this guy's great.
Yeah. Paragon of the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Please don't do anything bad, Yoko Taro.
Yeah, please. Well, Yoko Taro has always given me the impression that he knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Because you remember when Nier Automata came out, and people were like, why is this android who runs around in these like rust-filled post-apocalyptic things fighting robots with a sword, why is she dressed like a sexy maid?
Yeah.
And Yoko Taro was like, because I think it's hot and I like how it looks.
Yeah.
And people were like,
Good answer.
oh,
Good answer.
all right. It's like, oh. All right. You know, it's like, you want to know what you're supposed to say to that.
I've always said to people whenever I do the anime roundups that I'm like, look, if you like smut, because there's always talking about here's all the new smutty anime that's coming out. It was like, if you like smut, it's okay to own that, and it's if you like weird trashy anime, whether it's smut or not, if you like weird trashy anime, it's okay to own that. If you like this kind of thing, it's okay to own that, because you just have to be like, you just have to learn to get yourself comfortable with those kind of things. Just don't let it take over your life to the point where you
don't make it your personality.
Yeah, don't make it your personality, right? Get a weird mask for your head instead. Do that. That's a personality.
I love Yoko Taro's creepy Nier mask. Also, real quick, just because we didn't do a story about it and I thought it was hilarious, the Mercenaries mode that they added to Resident Evil Village.
Oh, right.
Where you can play as a bunch of different characters, including Lady Dimitrescu. Or Dimitrescu, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so because she's 9 foot tall, the first person POV is like much higher than the other characters. But my favorite part is that there was that scene in the game where Ethan's like looking in the window and she's on the phone, and then she hangs up the phone and hurls her vanity across the bedroom.
Yeah.
So one of her attack moves in this game is that from off camera, she will just hurl ornate furniture at the enemies.
Great.
Like a chair, like gilded and gold, and it just like wham! It's like, where did you get that? You've just been dragging around this.
Got a cart. The girls are behind her dragging a cart of all the stuff that they've got in storage.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
just
like,
love that one of the
Here,
attacks
Mom.
is just like whoomph. Oh, I love it. Anyway, to head you off at the pass, everybody in chat, we've talked about chat comments. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Moby has already been
that's come up as
a comparison.
All right.
Tall Jerry from Penny Arcade.
Yes.
And I mentioned Michael Stipe.
Yeah.
And there was someone else. I can't remember what the other one was.
The dude from Midnight Oil. Or, has anyone done Gord Downey yet?
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, get the
You need like
those hats.
the hats. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So there you go. You can omit those. You can come up with some new ones. Please follow the channel. Subscribe to LRR Video Games. That's it. Okay, bye. And for the benefit of anybody watching CheckPoint who hasn't been filled in on this or watched other stuff, for a full explanation, you can go to the Loading Ready Run YouTube channel and watch the cold open of June's episode of Loading Ready Live. It's about 20 minutes long. Or I can just give you the TLDR right now. I'm going through chemotherapy. That's why all of this. I'm doing fine. It's going well. Some of the side effects aren't great. This is one of them. I'm fine with it, though it does startle me every time I look in the mirror. I'm not like bummed about it, but I am like, oh, right.
Yeah.
So
it's like last night when I got onto my bed and I had replaced the quilt on my bed with one that I haven't used in years, and when I sat down I thought I was sitting on my waterbed again.
Yeah.
Like that kind
it's
of
exactly like that.